What's up, guys? Today was a day, y'all. Today is Monday. It's probably 9 o'clock at night. It was a day today. It was a day of challenges, of heightened emotions, and oh my God, just today, y'all, was a day. And y'all will see what I'm talking about in a minute, because I'm gonna go ahead and play, because I recorded a lot of it. But let me just say this before I let you guys see the video. There are going to be times in life where you have emotional and mental challenges, and I know there are going to be times that you fall short of responding and reacting the way you want. However, you can use those moments as teachable moments, as life lessons. Now, today is full of lessons for me and my family, because we let somebody who has been provoking and poking today take us out of a place emotionally and mentally that we have transcended to. But let me just say this: when you continue to poke and get poked and provoked, and you're trying to find a place of reason to respond and react to, and it takes a toll on you, sometimes you just start reacting. I say that to say this: my son came over today and saw the man who had been vandalizing my daughter's car. And he said, listen, this stuff going on between you and my sister ends today. I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. My sister called me crying about her cars. It ends today. The guy got up from the chair that he was sitting in. My son had his hands down to his side. And the guy picked up pepper spray and was pointing at my son. Me and Shane got downstairs, and I stepped in front of my son. I said, I wish you would. Because my son is verbally talking to this man. He's not threatening. Now, my son is 6'2", and the guy's probably my height. But you don't poke and provoke somebody and then play victim because you don't like the reaction. For a year, he was very aggressive. He went from being aggressive to being passive aggressive when he realized, okay, so she's not afraid of me, she's not intimidated. So then he took the route of vandalizing her car late at night. My daughter at this point parks across the street where homeless people stay. Okay, guys, we're gonna start walking from the steps to where my daughter's car is parked at. It's parked across the street where she has to park it. So I just want you guys to see how far she has to walk from her door to where the car is, so it won't be vandalized in the area that she's paying to park. This is her assigned parking space right here. Her assigned parking space is right here. For those of you who guys are just becoming abreast of what's going on, this is her assigned parking space. It's right near the building. This is how far my daughter has to walk in the morning at 4:30 in the morning to get to her car. Coming from a parking lot where she should be able to walk out the gate and get into her car. Okay, so she has to come across this alley right here. And over to this area. So, and she parks there every single day. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
All right.
All right. Good.
Okay. I just showed you. I walked past them on purpose. That group of homeless people, they sleep in that parking lot. They do drugs in the parking lot. They buy drugs in that parking lot. But her car is safer over here in that parking lot. But she can't park here because he'll vandalize her car when he feels spiteful. Now, this is a grown man, an older grown man. Now, the police was called by him, and the police said, and you guys are here on tape, yes, common sense says he did it. So my daughter's gonna take another restraining order out on him, because we had the first restraining order, a no contact restraining order, but he works here like the police said. So tomorrow she's going to take another restraining order out, and we didn't even know this one existed, and no negative communication restraining order. So now she has to go down and initiate another restraining order, which means they have to go back to court, which is ridiculous in itself. I am a person that have come from being a really upfront, aggressive person. If you mess with me, I ascended, risen from that person. I'm a better person because of my children, because I didn't want my children just to react to things. I wanted them to think, be able to think their way through critical situations, so not to negatively affect them or their future. Because your response and your reaction, your immediate response and reaction can affect the rest of your life. So I knew in order to raise my children where they critically thought their way through situations, I had to change my reaction and my response to certain things. But anyway, and I'm gonna let the video play, but now I want you to keep in mind this situation. She's been here 2 years. This guy has been aggressive for over a year, and then he started vandalizing cars. So this is where we're at this point. Now, how would you handle this situation different as a mother, a father, a sister, or a brother? But anyway, guys, take a look and y'all tell me, what would you do? This is that moment. What would you do? Here we go. Roll the video. My son that ran up on this man and told him he better not walk up on his sister no more. This man got scared, pulled out the mace, hand shaking like this. My son wasn't even really in his face. Oh, by the way, it's Monday, the 5th. My son wasn't even in his face. It was a chair between them. He didn't got up out the chair, backed up, pulled the mace out, doing like this. So I stepped in front of my son. I said, don't do it. Shane standing right there. Shane was like, come on, brother, ain't even worth it. He not even worth it.
Man.
So the girl that he dating or whatever he doing with, he was like, call the police, Jody, call the police. So now we waiting for the police.
I do. No comment. I'm leaving. I'll say that much. The maintenance man is a terrorist. He vandalized 2 of my cars.
What she say?
She said, is it bad?
Is what bad?
This girl, it was a lady coming out here to look at the property. She go talking about the maintenance guy is a terrorist. He vandalized 2 of my cars. The lady said, oh my God, and walked out.
He's showing an apartment. She said, is it bad? I said, no comment. She was like, well, what does that mean? I said, well, the maintenance man is a terrorist. He vandalized 2 of my cars.
And then he just walked out.
Yeah, she was like, oh my God.
I was like, I should go fuck up myself. You did it for me.
In the apartment showing it. She was like, oh my God. She got out of here real quick.
Oh yeah, save yourself. Save yourself.
Like, oh my God.
I thought she was with another woman.
She was. She ran up out of there. She probably called that woman like, get the fuck out of there.
Man.
Why did she ask you of all people?
I know.
Well, she couldn't ask Jody because Jody got evicted.
She said she used to live here. So when she turned that and looked at it, she was like, hi, do you live here? I was like, yeah. And then she asked me the question. I was like, no comment. And then she asked again. I was like, well, fuck it. Honesty is key.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Honesty is key.
I need to get by here. If you can move up a little bit.
Move up a little bit, please.
And this is my own personal patio table. And you guys can find somewhere else to sit.
No, thank you.
Oh, it is?
Common area.
Oh, thanks for the shade. Appreciate it. That's a good seat, man. Good spot. You got good taste, my man.
It's in a common area.
I wish somebody would have found something else to beat up other than my car. So we're gonna share the space.
If you can't please move out from my personal
Please,
place.
y'all just don't.
Oh, gray head.
Y'all just don't. Just leave it. We're waiting for the police. Y'all just don't. That's not worth it. Just don't.
Yeah, I bet you if I was a girl, you'd have got in my face.
Just leave it, Trayvon. Just leave
You
it.
can't argue with a psychopath because they don't think.
And you leave it
wrong
too.
with their behavior.
You leave it too. Just like
Scary.
sometimes silence is the silence speaks volume, y'all. Silence speaks
He don't
volume.
think it's nothing wrong with what
Yeah,
he beat up his girlfriend. That's why he don't think there's nothing wrong with his aggression.
He argue with women. He don't argue with men. Ain't that right, Frank?
I tried to do that. He didn't get the hint. He wanted to keep progressing to the point where he vandalized.
Hey, man, you want me to leave so you can argue with my sister again? I'm about to be out.
Because people that provoke you and poke you and try to intimidate you normally don't want an aggressive response. They want you to They want to be able to intimidate you. They want to feel empowered. As I was saying, they want to feel empowered. So when you take that power from them, then they go into victim mode. So now he's the victim.
Mine victimizing somebody else.
Yeah, like I said, let me talk.
So the police have arrived.
Alright, so why don't you tell us what happened today?
So a while back,
Y'all look
starting from, you know, starting from when before I approached them, you know, I had my sister call me crying about this ongoing incident with them two, her and the manager, and maintenance man.
Is it you or
That's my,
Yeah.
but thank you.
That's a good thing. But yeah, so she called me crying, talking about this guy is just constantly harassing her, like constantly just going in, like they constantly have like ongoing battles, you know, with each other. So, you know, the time she called me, I just had it. And this is the first day I seen him since she called me crying. I didn't touch him. I didn't get aggressive with him. I talked to him. I let him know that whole incident between him and my sister is over. You know, I didn't approach him in any type. You know, it got a little heated. I will admit it did.
But his dad came downstairs. His dad is right there. I'm sorry.
But you gentlemen and sisters.
Yep.
You know, can you imagine? We all, you know, we bleed red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So can you imagine your sister calling me while crying about some guy constantly harassing her? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to get physical. It was just my thing. Like, hey, you don't have to be my sister at home. You know, in the long run.
I understand. You're trying to be the good brother. You're
Yeah.
trying to protect her from the harassing. I completely understand that, man. The best thing I can recommend is that if the harassing does continue, obviously you still let your family know because that's how you're able to talk about it. But give us a call because we're able to respond. We're able to talk things over and try to help things the best that we
All right, so
possibly
I
can.
got another incident between them two is he has been vandalized.
He's been vandalizing her car.
Mom. So we had two incidents where her cars have been vandalized, and right before those incidents, they had encountered each other. So the first incident, he busted out our windows. That took some tanks that she mentioned.
I mentioned to him.
The tents was in the car, and then the next day they was gone. And then the next incident.
What's her new car? It's two separate cars now.
Mom, let him speak, please.
But he's not giving up.
Okay, but he wasn't here, so just let him bring it down.
Do you pass through, man?
No, that's his father.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so next time he, you know, messed up her side view mirror, you know, and then that's when she called me.
Now, was there any witnesses showing
That was
he
a problem.
And that's the thing.
He's
We
doing
went
it
to
in the middle of the
court.
night.
We went to.
Gotcha. So when there's no
Witnesses or
witnesses or
camera and the
evidence.
guy from the store.
So like, and it's just like I feel like he getting too comfortable. Like, just
I understand.
Let me just say this one statement, please. It was two separate cars. She had a gray Saturn. The passenger back window was bust out. After she sent the text to him and saying, "The next time I hear you fighting on your girlfriend, I'm gonna call the police." That's his apartment. That's her apartment. So they live right on top of each other.
Yeah.
The window on the Saturn was bust out 2 days later. The next day, I mentioned the window stayed exposed for 2 days. I said earlier, if it was a random incident, with all these homeless people around here, there's an expensive portable generator in the car that would keep your utilities on, where everything plugged up into it for 10 hours if your utilities was turned off. I said, and there are two tents. After I told him that, she went out there and covered the broken window open. Those very items were gone. However, her rent check was in the glove compartment blank, probably over $900, but that was still there. Okay, the first time he busted out the windows, and we're gonna say he, I'm not gonna say allegedly, because we went to the store. There's surveillance cameras on that store, on the building, that points to the parking lot over there, and the entrance to this parking lot. The guy was kind enough to let us back where they send Western Unions to view the camera. Nobody ever came in and out the parking lot when her car was vandalized. Nobody ever came in and out. The camera would have caught it. Nobody ever came in and out, so he wasn't on the camera. The
And that's
second
why people
time,
do it.
the second time he vandalized her new car, which is a royal blue car. The side view mirror was pulled off, not the whole housing.
After I put a restraining order.
But it was parked the first time. It was parked in the first vandalism was in a visitor's parking spot. The second time it was in her assigned parking spot, number 10, near the building. She has been parking for 2 weeks across the street where the homeless people sleep. The car has not been touched once because it sits under those surveillance cameras. It's only vandalized when she parks it in here. She's only had conflict when her car's parked. She's only had conflict with this gentleman. Not only that, not only that, he followed her out this gate one day because the gate was open. Because he said he needs the gate to stay closed because people are jumping over the gate. I want you to process that thought. He wants the gates to stay closed because people are jumping over the gate. He followed her out the gate one day when she left the gate open. This is her father. He followed her out the gate to tell her, well, if you don't like it here, you need to effing move. He's the maintenance guy. On her lease, it says he picks up the rent check. You followed this young woman out the gate to confront her after her and her father walked to the store. He went in the house, she went that way, he followed her outside the property. The owner has already told him to leave her alone. He said outside the camera, and I'm a YouTuber, and on my camera, well, the owner told me to leave her alone, but why are you following her outside the gate, harassing her? So, no, we don't have a witness saying that he was vandalizing the car, but all the circumstantial evidence and the strong evidence points to, and the dates align with. When we went to court, the judge dismissed it. The judge dismissed it without prejudice and told him to tread lightly.
Yeah, and I can tell you the reason why that happened is, I mean, just because the law, when someone commits a criminal act, it needs to be proved beyond a reasonable doubt.
Exactly.
And that's the crappy part, because obviously common sense,
exactly,
one would say that, yeah, it's
lines.
this person.
Right.
But
because we didn't have no proof,
we can't always do
no
common
evidence.
sense,
I understand, I get it, but it's not fair. What would have happened if because her dad confronted him. Her dad said we need to talk man to man. But what he wanted to do, he started arguing.
So how long have these problems been going on?
First of all, she stayed in silent for over a year. She kept trying to take the... Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just, as a parent, I'm just tired of this. It's been going on. She's been here 2 years. It's been going on over a year before anything was done.
I understand. It's your.
So this was a frustrated.
You want to help?
I don't mean to interrupt, but everything that you've heard is basically what goes on. What bothers me and my family the most is that when we came here, he yelled, "Close the gate."
They was at the steps.
That's lack of professionalism right there. You know, you guys know you got to hold some type of professionalism
on a job.
If you're on a job. Now, the thing that bothers me the most, and you guys can record it and hold it down, I don't appreciate him going out the gate, coming after her over a gate,
telling her to close it.
Close the gate. You know what I'm saying? You act in a professional manner that way, and the way he approached her is pissing me off, because if you can't handle that professionalism, that means you're going to do it over and over and over.
And why would you wait for her father to leave her side before you followed her out the gate? They was just together.
So obviously he didn't handle that situation right. He should be a lot more professional, like you were saying. That's, some people just aren't very adept at their job, and they shouldn't be doing certain things. What you could do is just try to speak to the owner.
We tried. She's emailed. The judge gave us a hint of what we should do.
Like a wild animal.
So since this has been persisting on for a long time, and you attempted to get a restraining order, which you did the right thing. You're doing the right thing, trying to get a restraining order. What was the parameters that you were going for? Like, were you trying to get a 100-yard stay away, or were you?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Well, what
it was temporary and granted, but
so what I would recommend is purely a no negative contact restraining order.
Oh.
So pretty much, because a 100-yard stay away, when he works here, that's a little harder to keep. No negative contact is pretty much if he walks up to you and just goes like and screams at you, close the door, or if you don't like it here, effing move out.
Yeah, that's what
he can be arrested.
Well, at this point,
so try to get the no negative contact restraining order.
Okay.
It's a lot easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. Those get approved a lot more because that just prevents any more arguing. It makes people force forcibly to be more compliant, more cordial, and pretty much behave how they're supposed to behave.
Okay.
She asked for no contact. She said, if you have to turn the water off, put a note on the door. Don't contact me. He told me, he said, well, I have to talk to her. And I was like, but you don't. Any apartment complex I would have lived in, if something is going on, they put a note.
Note is fine.
But he keeps texting her.
Yeah. I will talk to him again and make sure that he doesn't contact you in any way, shape, or form other than leaving something, a note on the door.
Yeah.
Like I said, the court, it's Monday, so the courthouse will be open tomorrow.
Okay.
They open up at 8 a.m. Try to get the no negative contact.
One of y'all got a card, by any chance?
A what?
Card.
A card? Yeah.
So you witness it, you know.
It's just, it's and I'm
always-
just going to say this. When you make somebody mad, sometimes you don't understand their reaction and response. If they've been taking a higher road, sometimes that doesn't mean they're afraid. They just don't want the negative interaction.
Yeah.
But if you keep pushing, everybody has that win button.
I know. And
Everybody has that win button.
safe because this is her living situation, and you want to know that she's safe in her apartment complex because it's already scary enough out in the real world.
Exactly.
And you want to be safe in the place that you live. And I completely understand where you guys are coming from, and I know why you're so heated about it. But like I said, the best thing that you guys can do about this right now is try to get that no negative contact, because when that gets enforced, like I said, if he comes up to you and just screams, close the gate, he can be arrested for that.
Okay.
So that's by far the best way that you can go for that.
We've been doing it all wrong.
Well, no negative it is.
Yeah.
Because once when he gets served with that, like I said, if he screams at you,
But it's over across the street now.
Yeah, I would recommend keeping it in surveillance view. Whether, like, if you find like a good place for it,
He did. They gave her permission
it's just
to park up
because
there.
even if it's not him and it's just some
No, it's
random.
No, it's him. No, it's him.
I know. Common sense says it's him, but
It's him.
Just
even
for
if
proof.
even if somehow it's not, and it's just some random dude, it's better just keep it in surveillance view, just in case something does occur, and then you can go like, oh, it's this person, and then we can do something about that, and then we can hold them criminally liable.
Okay.
And that's crazy because I've filmed homeless people sleeping and real deals going by and nobody ever touched their car.
But I will say, when you park it on the street, make sure no valuables are.
No, she's saying it's in the parking lot.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the parking lot.
It's in
just
the parking
more
lot over there.
More in the view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But still, make sure, rule of thumb, make sure no valuables are able to be seen inside the car. So, like that generator you're talking about.
It was
make
on the
sure
floor.
that-
They couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
It was on the
That
floor.
was in the car 2 years when I lived here.
I
Left
know.
the window down for a straight week, and my car had never been touched until he texted me and said, "Are we
We're
going to
gonna
start
have a
having
problem."
issues?"
Gotcha.
And then my stuff started getting vandalized. And he
Well,
got
like I
violent
said,
and real
well, actually, here,
ignorant.
let me see that card real quick. I'll write down the incident number for you guys, so that you guys can get a copy of that if need be. If you go to the Elkhorn Courthouse, give the I'm sorry, not Elkhorn Courthouse, Elkhorn Police Department, and just go to our records and hand them this incident number.
Okay.
It'll be like $1, maybe $2 to get a printout of it, and then you can take it to the courthouse, going like, hey, this is an ongoing issue. We called about this. Okay. And you said that the other restraining order got temporarily approved.
It got temporarily
until the court.
approved. Yeah, until the court.
Okay. With this one, I'm not going to say that it will get approved because I don't know what a judge is going to think.
Right.
I'm just going to say it's more likely to get approved. Just because of no negative contact, a little easier, more wiggle room. Because 100 yards stay away, he works here. They can't really force him out of a job that
Gotcha.
you know.
Gotcha.
He needs to be forced out of
but
it. Crazy.
no negative contact. If he screams at you, he gets arrested, and then you know that he won't scream at you again, because usually when one person gets arrested for violating a restraining order once, that's usually they're going like, okay, this is a legit thing. I don't want to go back.
Okay.
And my son was talking to him, and then he pulled the mace out on my son, and I stepped in front of my son.
But I will say, with everyone here, just don't interact with him if he starts. Like I said, same thing. I know. I'll talk to him again and make sure that he only posts little
Signs
stickies on your door.
And
no
stop
more
texting
messaging.
her?
Yeah. No more messaging in any way, shape, or form. Just little post-its on the door, letting you know if there's any maintenance that needs to be done.
Okay.
Sorry, there's a lot of people talking on the radio, so that's why I can't get the incident number right now.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause, like I said,
Yeah.
once when he gets served with that, like I said, same thing. I know. I know. With this one, it's I'm not gonna say that it will get approved. 203K, is the air clear?
So, it does. It doesn't exist.
I've been trying to do that.
What's the incident number?
You don't get all ignorant. Start being a lot of people's stuff.
She haven't even made the first car payment.
Right.
10-4. All right. So this is the incident number. That's a 2. I have horrible
Okay. Nah, you
numbering
good,
skills.
You good.
So
Nah, that's good.
I know it's like chicken scratch. But can I help you guys with anything else right now?
Nah, that's all good. Appreciate it.
Okay.
My
This
people
is
here,
a-
so I feel
Yeah,
pretty
but
safe.
okay, good. Just like I said, go to the courthouse tomorrow. Start getting that in process. You
Okay.
can even print out, if you have a printer, you can even print out a copy of the restraining order because you guys have filled it out in the past.
Yeah.
It's pretty tedious. It's a long
Yeah.
document. So if you start it tonight, when you go to the courthouse tomorrow, it'll just be like, hey, clerk, read this over.
Awesome.
So
do that.
Yeah,
it'll be a
that's
more in and
really
out
crazy.
process rather than a whole day type of thing.
Okay.
Does
So
that
if you-
one consist of going back to court again?
Oh, what'd you say?
Does that one consist of going back to court again?
Yeah, so the no native, it's the same thing as the other restraining order.
Gotcha.
It'll, if they think it's justified, it'll be temporarily approved until a court date, and then when the court date comes around, with the things that have been going on and that you guys filed a restraining order in the past, I do see it having a good chance of being approved. I'm not going to say it will because I don't know what a judge thinks. But can I assist you guys with anything else today?
Nah, that's all.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
No problem.
Y'all stay safe, and I mean, it
Well, I hope
wasn't.
everything gets better. Okay.
It wasn't.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal. It's just that, you know, when he pulled out the mace, I was like, okay, this is
If you don't get messy, that's just sucks.
That actually went better for us.
Right. Call the police backfires.
I will talk to you guys later. Keeping up with this.